Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football. We've got your Week 16 start and sit video for the running back position. Of course, we are going to talk PPR full edition. We're going to talk about the games for Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and of course 3 games on Monday for Christmas. So a lot of great football coming up. Obviously, there's still injuries you're dealing with. Hopefully you guys were able to get your waiver wire picks because again, we're talking Week 16, which is your round 2 of your fantasy playoffs. If you haven't already, check out our start and sit video for the quarterback position. And we're going to jump right into this. Now, these are your obvious starts at running back position. These guys should be in your lineup without question, without any guessing. Just put them in there. Let these guys cook, have a great week this week, and they should perform really, really well. Now, the first running back I'm going to mention as a good start, Saquon Barkley versus the Eagles. Look, Philly prior to the last 3 games, we're only allowing 11 points a game to the running back and 2 touchdowns in those 11 games. That's it. But in the last 3 games, it's a whole different story for Philly. Their defense has not played great. They just made a change at, defensive coordinator. Essentially, Matt Patricia is calling the defensive plays. But they're allowing an average of 19.7 points a game and 3 touchdowns in the 3 games. So there is some struggle. There's definitely an effort where they've got to be able to get after the quarterback. They've got to be able to shore up the secondary and, of course, stop the run. Where they have had some successes, they aren't allowing a lot of yards on the ground. They have yet to allow 100 yards to the running back, but they are allowing a lot of targets their way, a lot of great receptions. And when you deal with a running back like Saquon, even if they are behind in this game, Saquon should see plenty of targets his way and opportunities to have a really good week. I like Saquon Barkley in this matchup, especially in a divisional game. You never know. I know it's in Philly. Philly needs a bounce back win, but there's always a chance that Giants pull off a victory because those rivalry games are always so close. Now, another running back I like, Raheem Mostert versus the Cowboys. Look, Cowboys all season have been great against the run. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that for the most part, Cowboys are up big, or at least a couple touchdowns, maybe 10 points or so, where a lot of teams abandon the run just based off of game script. Last week showed if you use the running game properly and you have at least a close game or ahead, Dallas has a tough time defensively stopping running backs. Look, they just let 179 yards to James Cook. Now, I'm not taking anything away from James Cook because I like James Cook. I had him high on a lot of my dynasty rankings and things like that, and he really is starting to show up this season. But man, you're going against a running back like Raheem Mostert who just looks, just a whole new perspective. Like his ability to stay healthy this season has been great. Then you got, Devon Achane in the back who is, again, an explosive back who can take advantage of this defense that, unfortunately, have a lot of tweeners at the linebacker spot. Like they're really hybrids, right? You got a safety / linebacker trying to stop the run, getting manhandled by these big guys and big guards and tackles. It's tough. So I like Mostert. Mostert's been amazing. He's scoring touchdowns left and right. And in the last 4 games has scored 7 touchdowns as well. So Mostert absolutely should be in there. Another running back I like this week is going to be Ezekiel Elliott versus the Broncos. Now, of course, this is going to be based off if Ramondre Stevenson is out. Nothing's been changed yet. No news. Nothing announced if he's playing or not playing. So this is going to be based off of that. If Ramondre does not play, I like this matchup for Zeke. I know he didn't play great last week, the week before he did, but you're going against the Broncos defense that it's continuing, just struggling against the run. They just aren't doing a great job. They just gave up 100 yards to Gibbs, who had 11 opportunities, or 11 touches, 85 yards to David Montgomery, and they're allowing 129 yards on the ground, a touchdown per game. Like, this is a game that Zeke should have a lot of success, at least 70 to 80 yards on the ground, 4 or 5 receptions, get you that 15 to 18 point game. That's where I see Zeke in this one. Now, the first running back I'm going to sit, Jonathan Taylor. Look, he's going against the Falcons, who aren't bad defensively. Look, JT's coming back from an injury. He's going to be rusted. There's definitely going to be concerns. They're still going to mix in Zach Moss, which I do expect just to kind of ease JT back into this. They do have a lot to play for, so Jonathan Taylor is going to play this week, at least from all the practices and even limited practices, he's going to play. But the Falcons have done a really good job against the run. They're only allowing 13 points a game in the last 5 games. They've done a great job. They have yet to allow a touchdown on the ground all season long, which is great. So that's a big thing. And I do have some concern. I think the offensive line could be better. I do think the rust is definitely an issue for Jonathan Taylor. So I do worry about starting him this week. Another running back I may want to consider, and you should too, Gus Edwards versus the 49ers. Look, the matchup isn't great. With Keaton Mitchell obviously out for the season due to his torn ACL, which obviously you hate to see it, Gus Edwards now becomes the number one back for the Baltimore Ravens. Now they are going and getting Melvin Gordon, which, yeah, every time you mix Melvin Gordon, he's going to get some opportunities. But Gus Edwards has always been a great red zone back. He's been getting the touchdowns. So he's a solid 12 to 15 point type of back. I have some worries with the 49ers matchup. 49ers should be have some success against the run, only allowing 65 yards on the ground. The only thing that might save Gus Edwards is that if the Baltimore Ravens get down the field, they get near the red zone, sure, Gus could get a score, might get you maybe 10, maybe 12 points, right? Like maybe decent, maybe as a flex play. But I do have some concerns there. I think 49ers are just such a good defense and good team that I do worry that Gus isn't going to play well. Last running back, Tony Pollard. Look, Dolphins are pretty good, right? As far as the defense, and they've been winning some games. Their defense is really good against the run, right? They're only allowing 76 yards on the ground and 11.6 points a game. And a lot of it's like the Dallas defense where, look, Dolphins are up. Teams have to bend in the run. And so the running game looks great when it comes to these stats. Do I think Pollard could have some success? Sure. But Pollard hasn't been great this season. He's had a few games here or there. He was on a nice little touchdown streak, which helped him. But for a while there, he was averaging 8 to 9 points a game. It was tough to trust him. Do I think this is a better game and matchup for him? Sure. I think he has some chance to get some double digits. I think he's going to be more of a flex play or really low RB2. I don't see him as an RB1 this week. So I do have some hesitation. I would sit him if I can. Again, your rosters may be depleted. You may not have a lot of options, so you're going to put him in there. Just lower your expectations. I don't expect a lot of points out of this one. Now, my sleeper of the week is Roschon Johnson versus the Cardinals. Look, the whole backfield for the Bears is hard to understand. Is it going to be Foreman? Is it going to be Roschon? You still have Khalil Herbert, right? But really, it's been Foreman, who's been their main back, and then Roschon's been their change of pace / third down back. Foreman struggled last week. Roschon had at least hit 10 points. And that's kind of where I see Roschon. He's a nice little possibility of 12 to 15 point type of thing. Again, nice little flex play, low RB2. Because the Cardinals haven't been great against the run. They're allowing a touchdown per game. They've allowed 8 receiving touchdowns, which is where I think Roschon has some opportunities and has done a really good job in the passing game. They're also allowing 121 yards a game and 23 points to running back. Really tough. Like, this is a matchup that I think Roschon has some success. Again, I see him as a nice flex, low RB2. Again, that 12 to 15 point range, which is great for somebody that you don't have a lot of expectation for. But if you're really depleted at the running back position, or you're dealing with injuries, or maybe wide receivers, you need to put a flex, I like Roschon this week. So those are my start, sits, and sleepers for Week 16 running back edition. If you haven't already, again, check out our start and sit video for the quarterback position. If you have lineup questions, hit us up down below. We'd love to help you out. Make sure you're following us on X and Instagram and Facebook and any other socials out there as well. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll check you guys out next time.